Okay, welcome everyone. Today I'm going to take a look at do the advantages of this outweigh the disadvantages? Okay, let's get straight to the question. So, the question, some experts believe that it's better for children to begin learning a foreign language at primary school rather than secondary school. Okay. So it's about the benefits of primary school rather than secondary school, studying a foreign language at primary school and not delaying it until secondary school. So then we have the question here, says, do the advantages, plural, outweigh the disadvantages? So when we're dealing with a question like this, we need to make sure that we present both sides. So we're going to present the advantages and also we're going to present disadvantages. Okay, and we're going to include our opinion, which is if the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Okay, so a common mistake with this type of question is that students think that we're talking about the number of advantages or the number of disadvantages, and sometimes to justify that, they write a list of advantages just to justify the position that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, or the opposite. Now, this question is asking about the significance of the advantages. So maybe there are only 2 advantages, and maybe there are 10 disadvantages. But when we look at the significance, we feel that even though there are only 2 advantages, it definitely outweighs it in significance. So we're talking about significance here and not talking about number. Okay, so let's take a look at the introduction. So here we have, in recent years, learning a foreign language, such as English, Chinese, and French, has become a controversial issue in many countries, as it is one of the requirements for having a better education or getting a good job. Okay, so this is what we call the background, kind of a hook, which is kind of introducing some kind of a fact. I usually ask students to avoid this. Anyway, let's move on. Some experts believe that learning a foreign language at primary school is better for children than learning it at secondary school. Okay. Now, notice here that we do have quite a lot of repetition. Some experts believe that. Some experts believe that. Okay. Then we have learning a foreign language. Learning a foreign language at primary school is better for children. Better for children. So we didn't really have that much of a variety of lexical resource. It's not really recommended that you repeat the words that are given to you in the question, especially if there are many words that could replace the words in the question. The only time I recommend using the words within the question is when a student doesn't know any other words and they want to use other words, but they will change the meaning. And this is something we want to avoid. We really want to avoid changing the meaning of the background statement, because when we do that, it really changes the focus of the essay, and we start to write about something that we're not really asked to write about. Okay. I don't think personally is very formal and very suitable for, a type of formal essay. So here we are. I personally think that this is the best way to learn a foreign language. Now, the question says, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? It doesn't say what is the best way. I think if you address the question a little bit more directly, it will be better. So we could say that the advantages overshadow the disadvantages. We could say the advantages eclipse, the disadvantages. Also, we could replace the words in the question, like advantages and disadvantages, like the merits and demerits. And, we could use words like terminology like drawbacks, and there are lots of words that we can use to talk about advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So, points to consider. Did the question ask which was better? No. Or did it ask you whether the advantages outweighed the disadvantages? Definitely. I think this is what it asked us. Okay. Take a look at the second one. Are you going to explain why learning a language at primary school is better than secondary school within the essay? Now, we're going to have to take a look at the essay, and then we'll see if there's any kind of a comparison between secondary school and primary school and secondary school, because this is the focus. It's the meat and potatoes of the essay. This is the topic that we really should be talking about. So let's take a look at the body paragraphs and see if there is any kind of comparison between the two, or any mention of the other. So here we have a disadvantage. Now here we have a. The question clearly asks us, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? So we have a disadvantage. Are we going to see another disadvantage? We'll see. A disadvantage of learning a foreign language at primary school is that children are going to rarely concentrate on their mother tongue. And this is going to have a bad impact on their education at primary school. Okay, for example, in Iraq, the teaching language in the ordinary schools is Arabic. And there are many subjects in these schools, such as history, mathematics, and science. According to this, if the children cannot speak their own mother language fluently, they will face a difficulty in passing their subjects. So this is a good point. But is it relevant? Is it relevant? Let's see if it's relevant or not. Okay, so here we have the points. First, did the question ask if the advantage outweighed the disadvantage, or did it ask you whether the advantages? Okay, the advantages outweighed the disadvantages. So here we were asked for more than one. We do not have this. So that makes getting a band 7 difficult, because for a band 7, we need to address all parts of the task. That's what it tells us. For task achievement, for a band 7, we need to address all parts of the task. Okay, so we clearly haven't done that by only giving one advantage. You state that learning a foreign language might interfere with the learning of other languages. Will this not happen at secondary school? So this is the problem, is this disadvantage, is it specifically for studying at a primary school, or is this like just a more general kind of problem? Okay, so here I think you're just really talking in general about learning another language, and maybe it will have effect on the other language, and in turn affect other subjects. I think this is a very general thing, because we know that at secondary school also we study other subjects. So this problem or this disadvantage is not specific. Let's take a look at the second body paragraph. However, I believe that learning a language is going to help children understand other cultures, and by this they will have a distinguished experience full of knowledge, a multicultural acquaintance. For instance, my colleague's daughter has been admitted to an international school in my country, and she has friends from many nationalities with different cultures and experiences. As she can speak many languages, not only has this helped her to have a better communication with her friends, but also this has developed her to have a strong personality. Okay, first of all, why didn't you write more than one advantage? We only had one advantage there, and this is definitely going to affect task achievement because the question is asking you for advantages, disadvantages. The next point, can children only learn about culture in primary school? So this is a general benefit, and this is not a specific benefit that students will get from learning a language at primary school, which really makes the point kind of irrelevant. Okay, so we know that children can learn about culture in secondary school as well. In conclusion, the advantages of learning, the advantages here we only have one, anyway, of learning a foreign language at primary school outweigh, or we could say eclipse, because maybe we want to get some new vocab in there. It's good outweigh the disadvantages. Maybe we could use synonyms like pros and cons, you know, trying to get in that vocabulary there of it, as this will help children when they become adults to have a good position in their lives. Okay, I think we could have done better with a good position in their lives. Anyway, TA definitely is a 6. CC is a weak 7. LR is a strong, well, not a strong, it's a 7. We did have quite a bit of repetition there of vocabulary from the question and so on, but we had a lot of collocations, we had a lot of good stuff. The language is definitely there. The language, the vocab, everything is there. It's just really understanding the question and dealing with the question, which is the problem. GRA, there was, you know, range of structures. We also had, you know, we had range of structures, we had the accuracy, we had the good punctuation, everything was there. You know, this is a good 7, maybe even I would say a strong 7. Now, overall, we have the 3 7s and a 6. I think this is going to be a 7, but is it going to be a strong 7? Absolutely not. This is a weak 7, and I think understanding questions, the requirements of questions, and fulfilling them within the essay and even the task 1, of course, will definitely bring the band mark of this student up and guarantee them a band 7 for writing. One point I'd like to add is that if you only know of one advantage or only know of one disadvantage, it is possible for you to clearly state that, you only know of one advantage and you only know of one disadvantage. The only disadvantage that I am aware of. This clarifies, it makes it clear to the examiner that, okay, this candidate really understood the question and really had the intention. The intention was there to deal with the question, but the knowledge wasn't there. Now, in this situation, when you clearly make it clear, you make it clear to the examiner that you just did not have the knowledge. You would have written something if you had known, but you didn't. Okay, so this will also will make you know, you should not be deducted any marks for task achievement if you make it clear to the examiner. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you all benefited from that video. Make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, and, you know, show the channel some love by sharing and so on. Thanks for watching, everyone, again.